Hi everyone. I have a few hours now to kill and practice, and I also thought I'd continue on with the how to play my tunes series. And I thought we'd go over Purlie's jig, also known as Walking with Purlie. Yeah, sorry if you can hear background noise and I'm talking a little bit quietly, but yeah, I thought I'd go over Purlie's jig. I'm not gonna go over the whole slow air thing. It's a slow air and it's kind of, well, it's just one melody the whole way through, which is just repeats that whole thing up an octave, basically. Little tag I do. And the E flat, that is actually very important, and it comes back later, and not in the tune but in the arrangement of the set. So that as long as you can. Until the jig starts. So I'll play through the jig and then we'll go through the jig the normal way. As a tune, it's an E flat major. The only reason it's an E flat major is because Hanukkah Castle told me it would be an E flat major, so that's the only reason why. This was the first tune I ever wrote, at least with her. Yeah, so first part. What I recommend for this is always kind of keeping the first finger down. So I'm not doing, just keep it on this general fifth. It's a lot easier to get it in tune and a lot easier to play, in my opinion, so. That's phrase one. Then I start the next phrase on an up bow. So just staying on the D string. So put those two together. Yeah, I always do that slur. And gives a nice little lilt. Not that jigs should be like super lilty, but this one is kind of like a slower, more, a dog trotting on the sidewalk versus a horse galloping or something like that, So, phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3. So it starts on 3rd finger. So that's a C minor chord. And then you just switch to the 2nd finger. And my 1st finger never moves. So. If you want to check your intonation, you can check it with the chords. Kind of like that. And then next phrase. Do a wiggle there. Those two phrases together sounds like this. That's the connector note. Goes back to the beginning. So. The first phrase. Second phrase, same. We already learned these. Here's where it's different, the ending phrase. And I do that kind of funny bowing and slur in the middle. So A flat. Sure it's low enough. Here's the slur. Really just so I can end on a down bow. Not a G this time, but an F on the 2nd finger. D string. So the other one was. This one is. Right, so. Yeah, that's the A part. We'll go through it again because there's a little variation, the rhythm variation. So. We played it through once, what we just did, so going from the last, actually I'll play the whole E part again. That's just the first part of the E part. Second time through the E part, part is a little bit different. So it starts out the same first two phrases. Phrase one. Second phrase. Then third phrase is where it's different. So there's this kind of funky rhythm. So instead of just straight, it's with a wiggle, if you can do it on the B flat. You're just cutting out the G basically and doing it kind of syncopated. So that's one variation. The next part is also different though. It does not go back to. Now I put in an F natural instead of the G. So it's just a fifth with your second finger on the D and A string. Second phrase. It's not the normal second phrases. So instead of going, it's going up. So don't go down to the E flat, go up to the G. You can do there. Alright, so that whole bit sounds like this. Okay, I'll play it a couple times. Intonation is hard on this tune. But that's like the variation bit because then it goes back to the ending phrase. So yeah, that only happens second time through the A part. So that's how you can remember it. I'll play the whole A part through once slowly so you can hear how that goes. Anyway, after this part, you go. Yeah, so the same first phrase. And then you start not on the third finger, but on the first finger, A flat on the G string. First phrase goes. And then there's that funky rhythm again. Wiggle if you can do it. I sometimes miss it. That's the first part of the big part. Second part. Same first phrase. The next two phrases put together. Which we've already learned those. And then there's the weird F natural instead of the G thing happening. So instead of going, you go. Instead of the E flat. And then the ending phrase. Go through the whole B part again because I hope I didn't miss anything, and it feels very confusing to teach it for some reason. So here's the B part. Sorry if I was confused sometimes. But yeah, that's the whole tune. I'll just play the whole thing one more time so that it's clear. I just did it. I'll play it at normal jig speed. Okay, do it. That's the normal way of playing it. And then going back to the E flat business, so that comes back in the bridge, which I'll play a little bit. When we do it in the album, we play the jig through twice. And then there's like a little break where I stop playing, but Elizabeth and Sammy keep playing. A whole business. And then I come in with the bridge, so. Part. Yeah, but the second time through that little bridge, Elizabeth is playing actually the air double time, so. Where I'm playing so you get this nice clash, and that's very, very deliberate. I wanted that. I liked the way it sounded, and but yeah, that's deliberate, that's not a mistake. And I think it's especially good because Elizabeth usually goes into this line that she does where she starts on an E flat while I'm playing the B part. She's going, yeah, whatever she does. I don't know. Yeah, so that's the bridge. That's the reason why, also why I can't really cut out the slower in the beginning, even though I feel like it's too long and too repetitive. But it does come back in the bridge, and I think it all ties it together really well. And of course, at the end, we slow after you play the tune through it one more time. If you want to do the end the jig properly, you go. And you just fade it. And yeah, so that's a little bit about Purlie's jig. Purlie was the name of my first dog. He passed away in 2019. I was utterly destroyed when he passed away, and I decided to name a tune after him for that, but also because I got a lot of negative comments from people telling me that I was, weak and that I shouldn't be grieving a pet. But I disagree with that completely. I think you need to grieve your pets. They're your companions, and when they die, it's very, very sad. So yeah, I wrote that little tune to honor that time in my life, and also for Purlie. And it was my first proper tune that I ever wrote. I don't know, my very first tune was probably the minor major conflict reel. But this is the first one that I worked on with Hanukkah. So yeah, that's it for this video. I don't know if I'll get to any more today, but at least I got that one done. So yeah, I'm still continuing with the series. It's taking me forever, I know. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get through all my tunes. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the series as much as the Tune a Day series, and I am going to try to start a new series with the what my dogs think of my music, because yeah, that was pretty fun to make, and I didn't expect it to do so well. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more.